So see when it goes green, that's
Where?
usually that's usually means that we're streaming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we'll go like that.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, I think we're you see? It's slowly happening.
Okay, good.
Slowly happening.
Good.
So, hello everyone.
Hello.
I'm Mark again, and
I'm
Matt.
Macy.
No, Macy. Okay.
Macy.
Oh yeah, Matt's not here today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's Matt?
He's in Japan, I think.
In Japan. You hope.
I hope.
I think he's still there.
Yeah.
Unless he's run away, right? He would still be in Japan.
Yeah. It's
So
in Japan.
yeah. So since Matt's not here, Macy said she'd come and say hello.
Yeah. Hello,
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah. So it's good.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, let's talk about something.
So yeah, talk about
Lesson.
something. Yeah. So I think I put on the title of this video that we'll talk about comprehension. But since you're here, I'm really curious about how you work with your daughters.
Oh, okay.
And how you use language with them. Like, do you watch shows in English with them, or read books with them, or anything like that? Like, what do you do?
With helping their English.
Yeah, or they're Chinese, right? I think they're learning both.
Yes.
Both.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think in Singapore, like most of the kids, they have to learn both language, English and Chinese.
Yeah.
For my kids, like when they were young, little, like mostly we speak English with them, but we don't want them to get too confused between two languages.
Oh yeah, right. When you flip.
Yeah, but
between the two.
yeah, but when I get a little bit older, like almost like 1.5 or 2, and then when I speak something English, I know they know the word, but so I will at the same time I will get a chance to speak Chinese over for example,
to help
this
them.
is a phone. I say, hey, give mommy the phone.
Yeah.
I will repeat in Chinese.
Oh, good. Okay.
Give mommy the phone and I repeat Chinese again.
Oh, okay.
Or I tell her like what I'm gonna do. So I'm speaking English. I know she understand, and I repeat in Chinese. So if, for example, I'm getting my bubble tea, for example.
Oh, get your bubble tea.
So mommy's gonna get my bubble tea. So I speak in Chinese again. Something, and I get it, and they saw my action. And they get it. And
so they'll
time,
see something, and then they'll hear it, and then that'll help them. Help them understand, right? Yeah, that's actually pretty good, because with children they have to have some type of clue as to what you're talking about. That's why when we're learning a language, we're very, very visual. Like Macy said, she picks up the cup and then she'll say that the name of the cup or the name of whatever she's doing in Chinese, and then also in English. So I think that way works.
Yeah. I think it works. Because I have two kids. One is 4.5, one is 1.5.
Yeah.
And then the older one, she speaks both languages and equally good. Can I say that? Like,
they're equally good?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But yeah, her Chinese and her English are the same level.
Same level.
Equally
so
good.
Equally good.
Equally good, yeah.
Is that English?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah, that's English. You got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because my English is also not my first language, so it's
a little bit challenging, right? Yeah, but it sounds like you're on the right track. Do your daughters? They're old enough. Do they read yet or not yet?
They could. Not they. Like the older one could read some. But I don't know. Like they memorize. Like if it's a book.
Yeah.
If I turn to the page, like she knows, she memorized all the pages.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think she reads all, but she can read some of it.
Oh, okay. She can read part of it, but So how did she memorize it? Did you read the story to her, or did Matt read?
My husband read the story to her. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then and then she just. I think kids are really smart. I think if you start with them like early age. Early age.
Yeah, from an early age, if you start with them.
Yeah, then they get it very quick.
Yeah, children are very famous for learning languages quickly, right?
Yeah.
And I think the reason that many parents like to read to their children, like sounds like Matt reads to your children, right? Yeah. Is because that's a very good way for them to learn English, right? To learn to read. Just like in Chinese, many children learn using picture books, right? Yeah, they learn using these pictures books. Do you know why? Why are picture books so effective for learning?
I think from like the kids from a young age, they are very interested in the like a colorful thing, like nice thing, like
the colors, the pictures, right? They're usually very cute.
Yeah, cute or very cute. Yeah, very attractive for them.
Or actually, maybe I'm gonna grab a picture book. I think we have one, right? In the front?
Yeah.
I'll be back in 1 second.
Yeah. I need to look.
Let's see. You're very embarrassed? You cut it?
I just saw it. So
she ran away. She ran away.
I don't know.
It's fun. It's okay. I think
It's okay.
Let's see. Is anybody?
No?
I think there's still just. I think I think it's mostly just us. So
okay, good.
Don't worry. I think this is just for some people. If you watch later, Macy just had to get some air. So this is a picture book, right? In our class, or not our class. In our school, we have some books for children, because sometimes children come whenever the parents are studying. So just like Hippo has a hat, for children, this is a very good type of book, because at first it's very simple, right? Very easy to tell what's going on. Even if the English was not here, and I said Hippo has a hat, it's very easy for a child to understand, oh, hippo, hat, right? And they start developing those really simple levels of English, right? Very simple English words, and they start to string them together. The grammar here, has a hat, maybe they don't understand that, right? They might not understand has a hat, but they can start to get some of those keywords, some of the nouns, and learn those. And then if we keep turning the page, right, again, we have lots of picture and only a couple words, right? For young learners, they look at the picture and they use the picture to think about what will this English be about, right? What will this English be about? Yeah. And if you look here, right, there's our answer. They have to look at the whole picture, and this story's about clothes, right? So they see the whole picture, they use the picture as a clue, and then they read, right? And that's how children are able to learn. They see the very simple picture, and they use that to create an image in their head of what they think the story will be about. Just like when we pick up a book at a store, we see the image at the front of the book, and we imagine what do we think that book will be about, right? What will this book be about? And then we read, right? And we learn from there. So kids, it's really amazing whenever you teach them with a book, because they see the picture, right? So they can already imagine what's going on. What do I think is going to happen? Then you're reading to them in English. So they start to pick up some of the words, right? Some of the words Matt says, or some of the words you say. Same with Chinese books, right? They can see that if this book was in Chinese, I don't know the word for hippo in Chinese, but, right? If they hear that word over and over again, because children, if you have children love to hear the same story a billion times, right? So every single time, they're developing that comprehension of what are these things in English. And then once they have the idea, what is a hippo, right? They hear the word hippo, they connect it to this picture of a hippo, and then after that, they connect it to the word, right? And that starts to develop their comprehension. And
and I also think one thing is also important, like the rhyme.
Rhyming?
Right?
Well, rhyming's very good for memorization.
I think a lot of like.
Oh yeah, this one see, I'm not the parent. I guess. So you see, we have goat and coat. Camel has a coat, and the goat and the coat, right? Yeah, because we learn through sound as well, right? English is not only the alphabet, right? We learn through sound, so hearing the similar sounds allows you to memorize things more easily. That's why popular songs are always, or not always, but usually rhymed, because it's easier for you to remember the rhyming. Yeah. So
definitely.
It's pretty cool. So that's why, especially for kids, this is what you should be showing them. You shouldn't be showing them TV as much, or TV, videos, movies. because when a child sees a movie, it's too complicated, right? If you look here, this is pretty simple, and you can spend 2 or 3 minutes on this page just looking at everything, right? Very, very simple pictures. When they watch a video, there's too much happening on the screen, so the children get very confused. They don't focus on the words. They focus on the picture.
They focus on the picture. Definitely.
They focus on the picture.
Even sometimes my kids,
your kids,
turn off the sound, like they could still watch it. Like if there's without any sound, they can just see the pictures.
Exactly. So if your goal is to help your children read, or help your children understand English or Chinese, you really have to make sure that the focus is on the language. Right? Even for our students, if you watch videos in English, that's great, but especially for our more beginner students, it's too overwhelming. If you're watching, even, I guess, maybe your level's higher, but when you watch an English movie, do you still need the subtitles?
Yes.
Yes, right, of course. Just like when I watch Japanese movies, I need the subtitles. But the problem is we will rely on the subtitles too much, or we'll rely on what's happening on screen too much. We don't need the words, right? So actually the best way is for us to have something a little simpler like this. And I guess unsurprisingly, when we're learning in school, let's see. Oh, no, that didn't work. I'm going to try to show you what's happening on my, that one, that one's the wrong one. Whoops. I will try to show you what I have in my web browser. Let's see. We'll see if we can make the technology work.
Okay.
Facebook. Yeah, there's us twice. So now I'm going to switch back to here. Okay. So I think you can see over Macy's face, or maybe over my face.
My face is
over Macy's face. This is a picture from the books we use in class, and it follows the same pattern as a children's book. It's just the adult level children's book, where first we give you a picture, which gives you the basic idea of what we'll talk about, right? In this chapter I worked on with my students this morning, it's about shopping. So even if you couldn't speak any English, you would be able to guess that it's about shopping, right?
Yes.
And then what we do is we read questions, so we kind of get questions because we can read a little bit. We read the questions to try to better understand what we're going to hear, right? Then we listen, right? We listen to a story or an article that someone reads aloud. And after we listen, we try to answer questions about what we just heard. Just like with your child, right? You show them the book, you show them the pictures, you read the story, and then often parents will ask questions to their children as they're reading. Right? I'm sure, do you do that as well?
Yes.
Right? Where you see the picture of the goat, there's my goat. You can ask your daughter, what's this? What's that?
Yeah.
What are they doing? Where are they going?
Or how
right?
you say,
things like that.
How does the goat talk?
Yeah, what sound does the goat make?
Something like that.
And especially with children, it also creates this emotional connection with your child, because maybe, I don't know how Matt does it or how you do it. Maybe your child's on your lap or very close to you. You're holding the book, looking at the pictures together. Really, it's an intimate experience. So that's even better for your child, that you have this connection with them as you try to expose them to this new language, right? Yeah, but it's all the same pattern. We see something, we listen, we try to understand, and we ask questions about it. And let's see, I was thinking about for adults how else we do this. Another thing you can do, I don't know, do you watch many TV shows in English or movies in English?
I recently, yes.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of movies.
A lot of movies. Okay.
Like
what movie did you see?
The terrible things is I
you can't remember. Maybe that's a bad sign for comprehension. But
I think the movie. I watch a lot of movie on Netflix.
On Netflix.
Yes. And I think actually I learned a lot of English from watching TV show or movies.
Yeah.
especially when there's like double subtitles, like English and Chinese at the same time.
Okay.
But usually I won't look at the subtitles. I will
Oh,
just
good.
listen because I will just when I look at because when I didn't understand, I will look at the subtitles. So I will try to memorize it between English and Chinese. So that would be the best.
Okay, yeah, that's a good idea because when you're watching something, like Macy said, she tries to listen and understand only through listening first.
Yeah.
Because sometimes with subtitles we get too comfortable reading, because it's very easy for us to read our native language, or even sometimes reading English is easier than hearing English. So you want to make sure that you make your brain focus on the listening. Because many of our students, and I'm sure for you, Macy, you want to be able to understand by listening.
Yes.
And you want to be able to speak.
Yes.
Right? So actually when you're watching a film or a TV show, the best thing to do first is to try to listen to it without subtitles, which is very scary, I know. Even if you watch just 5 minutes, right? Watch 5 minutes, try to watch without subtitles, and then question yourself. What's happening? What are the characters doing? Where are they going? What have they talked about? Right? And then after you've spent that short amount of time trying to understand the listening, then you can go back and watch the subtitles. Right? Then you watch the subtitles, you're like, okay, what did I understand? What did I miss? Right? Because you have to actively learn, especially for adults. If we don't actively learn the language, right? If we don't actively focus on what we're not understanding, it's very easy for us not to improve. Yeah. Right?
I think especially maybe for me, like I'm not in the stage of learning this language.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not. If I was a English language learner, I would try that.
Yeah.
Because it's really effective. At the beginning of when I start to learn English, I really did watch some TV show or something, like try to listen to what they talk about, especially for the pronunciation and also for the speaking, speaking and the tone and everything. But I think it's very important to listen without subtitle and then you try with subtitle again or something.
Yeah, and I'm learning Japanese, so I know it's scary. It's very scary whenever you have to watch something with no helper, right? Yeah. With no helper, but I think it's very important so you learn to pick up those words that you sometimes might cheat and read, right? You don't want to cheat, especially the higher level students. If you're a very new student, of course, you watch a very simple video and try to understand at that simple level. As we move up, you want to challenge yourself more and more.
You know what, Mark? I think learning English for me, like listen to songs. Like
songs.
Help a lot.
Okay.
Just sometimes even like the grammar and also the word, I can just move from the song and in my memory I can use it.
Yeah, very good.
I think it's really useful to listen to a lot of English songs. Like when I was younger, like when I was in the below 20s. So I was in the school, so I listened to a lot of English songs, but it helped me to build up a lot of especially my interest in learning English. Yeah. And also grammar actually. It's for example, I want to do this, but in a song there's a lot of I wanna do this. I wanna everything.
Wanna. Yeah.
What is that? So I will check. Because in school we don't really learn like I wanna or something like
this. So sometimes in school you learn the formal language or the polite language. Often in songs you'll hear impolite, not polite language, or you'll hear slang. So slang are these special words that we use when we're talking to each other, but that you usually won't see in a textbook. So those special kinds of words, songs are very, very useful. And just again, memorization, right? If you memorize a song, it's very helpful to see. You can identify or notice what grammar you don't know, maybe new words. I used to sing from TV shows I liked in Japan. I used to try to sing the songs from the theme songs from the shows I liked. Yeah, so or I don't. Yeah,
very helpful.
It's very, very helpful
because you want to understand the song, what it talk about. So you will check it. Yeah, that's what it means. Interesting.
And
What?
you can also, especially, not all songs have two versions, but a lot of Disney songs have
Yes,
Chinese
yes,
version,
yeah,
Japanese
yes.
version, Korean version, English version, Thai version. There's the same song in many different languages. I find that very interesting to look at as well, because like for example, for Japanese, Let It Go. In Japanese, it's Ari no Mama no. So it's like as I am. I love myself as I am. Versus English, it says let it go, or don't worry about this. I'm good as I am. Let it go. So it's interesting to see how the meaning changes. This is maybe for intermediate learners, but you can actually look at how people in your language change the meaning to make it easier for people who are Chinese to understand, easier for Japanese people to understand. It really helps you get into the head of people who don't speak your native language. Because you'll often see like something you say in Chinese, you have to change it so that English people can understand.
Yes.
You can't say it the exact way, the exact same way.
Right.
And you see that in songs, because songs are about feeling. They're all about feeling. So how to translate those feelings into another language, it's very, very useful.
Yes.
Along with the words, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's a big,
Agree.
yeah. So that's a basic idea with songs. What else? I think that was most of what I had for today. I'll double check, see if we had anyone comment, but I think maybe we're okay. Oh, I think maybe Matt commented. Let's see.
17 minutes ago.
Maybe we missed Matt. Whoops.
Oh.
Let's see what Matt said. But that's the gist of what we're thinking about. Today. Oh, whoops! We're gonna get. Oh, whoops! Oh no. So we get the loop. But yeah, only Matt and Kanako. So no worries. No, only Matt and Kanako.
Perfect.
But yeah, good. Just
Next
those two.
time you just tell me earlier that I do.
Oh, we prepare. I know we didn't prepare too much.
Even my face is not prepared.
Yeah. So, but I hope that helped. If you're thinking about learning, like we said, songs are great. Read. I know a lot of you have small children. Definitely read stories to them. Be there, sitting with them. Point out things to them. Right. Make sure the book's their age level. Repeat 1,000 times to your kids. And maybe my last thing, right? So reading's great. To practice reading, you need a book. You need somewhere where they can see the English language. But also for your kids, just ask them about their day. I think that's a really great way to build language skills, even for learners of English who are adults. Try to answer what happened during your day in English. Right? My mother would ask me all the time when I was a kid. Right? What did you do today at school? What did you have for lunch? What did you play in gym class today? Because it forces your child to actually produce the language, to use the words they know, right? To connect English to their daily life. Same with Chinese, right? You have your daughter. You ask your daughter, right? What did you do this morning? What did you do today? And make sure that they're able to produce, right, that story about their life. It's very, very, very helpful.
Yes.
Yeah.
And of course, if a child, like they often get confused between two languages.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's very confusing.
Even they are speaks like really good, equally good, but sometimes when they speak, like maybe they know this in Chinese, but they don't know that
right. They're like,
in English.
what is this? What is
Sometimes
this?
they know that in English, but they don't. They will get very curious. They will ask you, "Oh, Mom, what does this say in Chinese? What does this say in English?" So even themselves, they get more and more like curious about it. It's good.
Yeah, and encourage that bilingualism. I think it's really, really cool that so many people in Singapore do have children that can speak 2 languages or 3 languages.
At least,
and it might be more difficult. It might make English a little slower for them in the beginning, but it's worth it because they're able to experience 2 different cultures, 2 different languages. So parents, keep doing what you're doing. Keep reading. Keep listening, and we'll talk to you again next week. Next week. Yeah. Until then. Yeah.
What's the topic?
Next week? I don't know.
So we will, yeah.
Oh, if you're curious about a certain topic, comment below, and we can talk about that.
Yes.
Or I'll come back with something we can focus on for next week. We post Thursday mornings usually, so you can know the topic and try to come and see. Okay?
Perfect.
So that's it.
Thanks for
Bye-bye.
watching.
Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.